Hi there. If you're like most people, you're playing a musical instrument because you enjoy the process of playing, because you love music, and because you enjoy self expression. Now, if you are playing written music, whether it's classical or pop or whatever, you are kind of expected to play the music in a way that somewhat coincides with what the composer intended. So if you're not going to do it like this. You're doing it with the intention of the composer in mind. So if you want to just express your feelings, you need to put on, start playing something that corresponds to how you're feeling. So if you're feeling sadness, on the other hand, maybe you don't find something that quite expresses how you feel. Now you have an alternative, which is improvisation. Plus, improvisation can help you even finding better self expression with traditional learning, with classical music, even with pop music. So, I'm going to talk about that today, what gets in the way of our self expression, and how we can help ourselves, free our self expression. My name is Beth Green, and this is The Improvisational Pianist, which is my video blog right here on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel and like the show or love it or share it if you enjoy it. So, first I want to talk about what gets in the way of self-expression. This is true if you're playing rock music, pop music, God knows all the kinds of music, classical music, or you're improvising. There are things that happen to us in life that have suppressed our self-expression, and let's talk about that now, and maybe I can give you a few clues as to what to do about it. So let's say when you were a child, people didn't want to hear you. There was a lot of stress in the house. People were tired. One of your parents was a drunk and a violent drunk. You had to be quiet. You didn't want to upset daddy or mommy, or it wasn't approved of. You weren't supposed to say, oh my God, daddy hurt me, or mommy hurt me, or my brother or sister hurt me. No, you're not supposed to say that, because then the other parent, if there's another parent in the house, has to do something about it or feel bad about it or something. Don't want to know what you're feeling. They don't want to know what you're feeling. So think about that for yourself. Was there anybody in your life as you were growing up who didn't want to know what you were feeling? So if that's the case, then you had to take those feelings and you either bottled them up or you shared them with friends. Not in the house, outside the house. Or you got drunk as you got older or started smoking pot, at 11. And pot, I don't know if they call it pot anymore, marijuana. Anyway, or whatever you were doing. So your self-expression may have been, people may not have wanted to hear it. So you got into the habit of looking happy on the outside, looking functional if possible, and suppressing your other feelings. Or maybe you were in a very unhappy family and you were light and airy. And then what happens is nobody wants to know that you're happy because it makes them feel bad. See, a lot of the problem with self-expression is that it can make other people feel bad. So their self-esteem goes down, and then they don't want to hear what you have to say. So what do we do about this? Well, I'm going to get to that a little bit later, but I want to talk about other things. Let's say you are living in an apartment and you can't make a lot of noise or express yourself because there's other people who are listening and they have children or there's dogs barking, whatever. It's hard to express yourself. It's kind of convenient for a lot of people to have a digital instrument that they can put headphones on. So there are certain kinds of other stops to self-expression. Another big thing about self-expression, a block to it, is you may have to discover what you are feeling. And a lot of us don't want to know what we're feeling. If we find out that we're angry, then we have to ask ourselves, well, why are we angry and what are we going to do about it? Or if we find that we're really sad, again, oh my God, I'm so unhappy. Could it be my relationship? Could it be my children? Could it be my job? Could it be the environment in which I live? Well, oh no. If I'm really unhappy, do I have to change my attitude, my behavior, or do I have to leave the situation? That could be very threatening, so I may not want to know what I'm feeling, see? Now, you may have had many experiences where your self-expression was criticized. Oh, that's no good. You shouldn't play like that. Or, if your art, oh, yes, honey. With that, oh, yes, very nice. But they don't mean it because either it stinks or they don't have a taste for your art. I had that experience as a child. People really didn't think very much of my playing. It's only when I came back to the piano at the age of 73 and I started improvising, I found an audience for my music. And that gave me courage. And, I started getting, support from my self-expression. It's like, oh, man. Now I'm ready to rock and roll and be heard. So you may have had those bad experiences also of being disapproved of or judged for your self-expression, and that is going to get you too and get you down. Now, there's one other thing that I want to mention, which is you may be in a relationship with someone who has very low self-esteem and has trouble expressing themselves, and they may be envious of you. I hate to say it, you may play better than they do or whatever, and then jealousy can come. There can be jealousy among siblings. It could be between parents and children, for heaven's sake, and between you and friends or mates. So if you start getting good, you may find that you may lose people's love, or you're upsetting the apple cart is like suddenly you're getting empowered. As you get empowered, the people who have had power over you in the past start to get angry and sort of disempowered. That's the way they may feel it. And you may not even realize it, but you may be afraid to improve. This can easily happen between couples, right? Let's say you're married to a doctor and she's used to being on top and you're the house husband, right? And suddenly you have this incredible gift and she's not the most important person in the house anymore. It's like, oh, yes, I have something going on for me too. So you see, there's a lot of people who can be threatened by your self-expression. So what do we do about it? So first of all, I want to tell you that something that I do for people, for my clients, I am an intuitively guided counselor and obviously an improvisational pianist. And I can help people to overcome whatever conditioning they have because I'm a counselor and I'm intuitive and I can help people do that. And I'm going to put a link in with this if you're interested in doing some coaching with me. But what I'm also suggesting is that improvisation can really help you even if you are continuing to play written music. Just the process of improvising gives you a challenge. And the challenge is, what am I going to say in this music? What am I going to play? What's going to come out of my hands? What's going to come out of my spirit? If there's nothing there that you have to play, it has to come from you. So you start to create a pathway between you and yourself. And at first you may be terrible, but if you keep doing it, you won't stay terrible because you'll get used to it. And if you can get over judging what you're doing and really just explore your own emotions and enjoy the sounds and as you start to enjoy it, you begin to free yourself up, right? And amazing things can start coming out of you. You know, give it a try. It doesn't cost anything. You just sit at home with your instrument. And at first, you know, you may be a little stiff, but just try to feel yourself and allow yourself and the more you do it, the more you can do it, and you'll start changing on this until you start expressing. You'll start expressing yourself in ways you never have before. Love the experience. Love the experience of improvising. Don't judge. Love the experience of connecting to yourself. And I would bet you anything that even if you go back to doing written music, you will do it differently because you will have really gotten into the habit of connecting to yourself when you play. And you won't be able to stop. That is my hope for you. Happy improvising. Comment, love, like this program, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and how you are feeling about my video blog, The Improvisational Pianist. Each time I bring you something else, either one of my perspectives or I interview others. So best to you. As I say, happy improvising. Let me know how it's going. Bye-bye.